Hi everyone, and once again welcome to Hobby World. Today I have an amazing project for you all. I am going to build a complete slot car track in 7 days and 7 days only, and that is including track layout, woodwork, scenery, landscape and so on. Everything, controls, Arduino controls for the track. So that is an amazing project and no time to waste. So let's get started right away. The project will start right out here. This is my workshop, and at the current state my workshop isn't very tidy, but I am working on that. So each day I upgrade it a bit and get a bit more done. So yesterday, for example, I finished building that gate there out to our courtyard, and I've started making a wall over there for all of my tools. So we are getting the right direction. It just takes a bit of time, but I have everything I need in here to get the track started. First of all, we are going to take a look at this nice piece of paper I got here. I just scratched down a couple of words. Woodwork and layout. This is the stuff we're going to start with. And today, first day, day one of the project, I'm going to build the entire base for the track. It's going to be modular, so the track can be disconnected and reconnected easily. And then I'm going to make some foldable legs. And of course the layout of the track. So let's take a look at this to begin with. This box contains all of the track pieces I'm going to use. I had these laying around after another project, and that means they are spares. And it would be awesome getting all of these pieces used. So this is Korea Go, and it's a scale 1 to 43. And I've decided to use as many track pieces as possible on this slot car track. And to do that, we will have crossovers, I will have bridges, I'll have all kinds of height differences, so I can get as much track packed on the table I'm going to build as possible. So the first part of the process is, of course, figuring out how huge a table I'm going to build for this. And I need it as compact as possible, because I want to be able to set it up in a small corner of my slot car area that isn't used. So it needs to be as small and compact as possible. But to begin with, I'll just unpack some of this to see what I actually have of track pieces, to give me a general idea of how I can build this. But it needs to be compact. I need to use all of these track pieces down here, or as many as possible, so they are not laying around in a box anymore. They need to be used. Slot car tracks are made to be used. While just messing around here, I kind of have an idea that I actually have some tracks that are a bit different, someone where we have crossovers and so on. So I'll just go look for those. Well, I really hate to admit this, but I probably remembered wrong. I thought I had some of those cross sections where the track did something like this, and I didn't. But no worries, I'll still make this work. I'll just have to make a lot more bridges and caves, tunnels and so on. The track can go below, so we can cross like this. So no worries, we'll just have to find a solution. 7 days. Anyways, the conclusion is that I have lots of track pieces and I didn't want to unpack everything, because then I'll have to pack it back in this box. So I'm going to get started on the surface for the track, and then I'm going to use my DIY homemade hot wire cutter over here for cutting all of the foam, so I can create some height differences. I am thinking scenery, I'm thinking mountains, I'm thinking a lot of vegetation, trees and so on. So a lot of nature, because that is not the thing that takes longest to make. That will be buildings and people and so on. So we're going for a nature track, a lot of trees, a lot of green and a lot of rock surface. that was the first part of the process. I have made the two table surfaces here, and I'm going to need something for them to stand on, some legs. And when I made or started on the slot car track of Circuit de Catalunya, I made this design. This is a table leg that can be folded, and to make one leg I will need two of these, and then a couple of hinges in the sides here so it can fold together, and you can open it up and place it just like you want, and it will have 3 connection points with the track or the table surface. So it doesn't matter that I have these reinforcements here, because I can simply place this or open it up enough so it will fit in between those surfaces there, or those reinforcements. So I'll have to make 4 of these for each table surface, or for each table, and there are 2 tables for this track, so I'll have to make 8 of these, and then a couple of hinges on each of them. So that will take a bit of time, as I will sand these down. I'm not going to paint them or anything, because I think they actually look quite good as they are. They are very stable, but I'll have to sand them down. I'll have to cut off the parts and connect it. So I'm using this as a template, so I've kept this. So I have to make 8 new ones. So let's get started with that. I have all of the legs assembled now. They just need a couple of hinges on each side so they can be used. And then I have the 2 large tabletop surfaces here. They will also need to have attached an edge, but that won't take very long. And then I'll make a system so they will click in place, or will always be mounted correctly, because it's modular, so I need those 2 pieces here to be able to fit together, and they need to be in the exact same spot each time. So I'm going to make that right after I've assembled all of these legs. Even though I said I wanted to work on my slot car track for 7 days, there is a lot more to it than that, because this is an absolute mess in here, and I'm also trying to work on getting all of these rooms prepared and ready so they will look good when I'm working. And that's a lot of stuff that needs to be done, and I'm trying to clean up a bit while I'm working on this slot car track. So this area out here in front, I need to get that more or less cleaned up so there's room for setting up the track in here. So I have all of the setup for the track just close to all of my machines, where I'm going to be cutting all of the foam. That will make the work a lot easier, and also in the future when I'm going to work on slot car tracks, that will give me just make the job a lot easier. So I am also going to work on cleaning up this room as I progress with the track. So please bear in mind, and sorry for all of the mess at the moment. I am working on it. Well, let's get back to the track. I have assembled all of the legs for the table now, and this is the design. I am actually incredibly happy about how this turned out. This is a design I made for the Circuit de Catalunya track. I'm also working on at the moment. Oh, so many projects. And I really love this design. It is incredibly stable. You can fold them like this, and then they are easy to transport and store, and when you need them you can just grab them and set them up by pulling out like this, and then you have them standing like this. You can pull them further apart if you need more stability, but they are incredibly sturdy and they are very stable. So when you have these tabletops you need to place on those, you often have some kind of reinforcement below the tabletop, like I have here, that keeps everything plain and nice and tidy. And you can just shift these around so they fit below the table. And as they have this point, another point over there, and this double point just let's call it 1 point. They have 3 contact points with the table surface or bottom of the table, and it's just incredibly sturdy. And the tables will stay where they are. So this is a really great design for slot car tracks you are going to be moving around. Phew, this was a major task. 7 days, I told myself, and I am going to stick to that. First of all, I have managed to make all of this, and I didn't quite make the layout today because I ran into a couple of problems and I ended up cleaning up in here in my workshop. So that's great, that will make the work go faster tomorrow. But I have managed to finish all of the legs down there. They are incredible, very sturdy. The tabletops are amazing. It's very, very strong, this connection, even though I made it with kind of tiny pieces of wood. It isn't that strong, but that makes the construction light. It's easy to move, and it's still very strong. So I'm happy with it as it turned out. I discovered a couple of problems when I started looking at the track pieces here, because first of all, it looks like the Carrera Go pieces I have only have these 90-degree turns here, and that's actually horrible because I want to fill out as much of this table surface here as possible with track, so there isn't room for that much scenery. Because remember, I'm going to make all of this in a week, so I will focus heavily on a long track, much track piece on the table surface. There will be some rocks, and then there will be some forest and grass, and that's probably it. So it will be a real nature track here. So I'll cut down on the advanced scenery. But as there is only 90-degree turns, I'm very restricted, and that's not good enough. So tomorrow when I'm doing the layout, I'm going to figure out what to do about that. Right now I'm considering 3D printing pieces that are smaller, that will line up against these. And then I was actually considering why not 3D print some pieces that make sort of this effect here, where we have tracks crossing each other. So that's all the task for tomorrow. Make the layout, start cutting all of the stuff on the hot wire cutters for the scenery, so I can build the landscape up in styrofoam. And then day 3, I'm probably going to paint all of the rock surfaces and the styrofoam and the tabletop here. So this is actually looking quite nice right now. And the thing I like with these legs, and remember I haven't placed them quite evenly yet, but the thing I like with them is they are looking so nice that you can easily set up the whole track just in those legs. No need for any curtains or something like that. Of course it always looks great, but it isn't necessary. This will look good as it is. So tomorrow, track layout, and start building all of that styrofoam scenery, and it's going to be incredible. So far I hope that you enjoyed watching the process, and this might inspire you. Please subscribe to the channel, leave a like, and comments and feedback always appreciated. So thank you all very much for watching.